Today on an all-new Daily Helpline. From TLC, T-Boz.
But this is serious. If you're a cheater, that's the bottom line.
It kind of sucks that I went through all that and I still don't feel hot.
As a mother of 4 that I've breastfed, this was near and dear to my heart.
I don't know what people's problem is. It's hard on the boulevard, honey.
All right, guys, welcome to the Daily Helpline. I'm Miles Adcox.
And I'm Spirit. Today we have a legendary name in music joining us to share in some of our audience stories. She is 1/3 of the best-selling American female group of all time. Now, T-Boz has been to the top of the music charts, and she's also dealt with some chronic illnesses and a tragic loss. From TLC, let's give a warm welcome to a beautiful, beautiful woman, T-Boz.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Come have a seat for us.
Thank you for being here.
We are so excited to have you
thank
here.
you. Thank
I'm so
you.
mad I had to come all the way from Atlanta to meet you all the way right here,
Oh, so
right
you're
around
from
the
the
corner.
A.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I
Now,
love Atlanta.
I want you to tell everybody, I mean, you have had an amazing journey thus far. And I always say thus far because life is a journey, it's not a destination. But I want you to tell everybody about some of the trials and some of the tribulations that you've been through in these last few years.
Last few, huh? Well, I was born with a disease called sickle cell. It has no cure. At 7 years old, they told me I would not live past 30. I would never have kids, and I'll be disabled. I'm 44. My daughter's 13. And I've traveled the world in, you know, TLC. So I've been very blessed. But 6, going on 7 years ago, I had a life-threatening brain tumor. Wow. So I had to have a craniotomy, and that was, whoo, I lost my speech, my sight, my hearing, and my balance. So that was really, that was probably...
How long did you lose all that?
3.5 years of physical therapy.
Tion.
It's crazy. I know. I just got off tour, though. See, I'm back, though. Come on, girl. I'm back. It's a blessing. Yeah. So I got big G.O.D. on my side.
I know you also lost somebody pretty special to you. You know, that was in your group, Lisa. How did that impact you?
It's crazy because usually when you lose someone, you get to mourn alone. And I had to do it with the world. So I think I was just floating, and I really didn't really get to mourn the correct way. So it took me a long time, and even now, it hits you at the weirdest times. Like I can see her and be fine, and then we're at the AMAs, and then we're doing waterfalls, and her picture comes up, and I'm just like, Chili started crying. I was like, Lord, you know, it just hits you at the weirdest times. But it's funny because her mom is married to my uncle, so she became my cousin. Wow. But we were like sisters, and we were really close, so it's hard, but you know, the thing is you have to keep living. You have to keep going, and that's what she would have wanted of me. And so I had to figure out this is the new normal. It's not gonna ever be the same, but her spirit will live through us, and we're gonna keep it alive because we build a legacy together, so I'm gonna keep that going.
What a testimony today. She's gonna help some people today.
Thank you for being so transparent. We're really lucky to have you here today. So let's get right to it. Our first guest, this past year, he's lost over 100 pounds, but his battle's not over. Take a look at Mark Claire.
I struggled with my weight since I was a baby. My childhood was very inconsistent. I had to go in from different schools and meet different people, and being a new kid and being the big guy of the class, you know, you're obviously gonna be that guy that everyone laughs at. I didn't have any friends because I felt like I was always the outsider. It's been a real journey and really kind of brings back a lot of those memories. I remember looking myself in the mirror, going in to take a shower, and I looked at myself and I couldn't believe that I had let myself get to that. And when I decided that I wanted to do more with my life, I got on some running clothes and just been doing it ever since. I can't be just myself. I'm not just this, thin, like athletic dude. I've also had this fat mentality. Being overweight has affected my self-confidence extremely. I just feel like I'll never really improve unless I actually, improve myself mentally and physically, and you can't have one without the other. It's like that's the one thing that's kind of plagued me. It's just I see bad. When you say, oh, well, you're skinny now, it should be easy. Like, no, because you have that mentality. No matter what, like the way you think is the way you become. And that's my biggest problem.
Let's give him a hand. I mean,
thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
right out of the gate, that's what I want to do, is just give you a warm welcome, because I think you're an inspiration to all of us just in what you've been able to do so far. I know you've battled with weight your whole life, and I want to hear a little bit more about how that's impacted you and why you're here today.
When I was bigger, I just thought that's just how life was meant to be. You know, like there are some people you're supposed to be big, you know, like that's that role you had to play. And I was always like that kind of, you know, talkative, laughing kind of guy. I always like to talk with people. So being big just fit that role, you know, the class clown. And that's just the role I just assumed I had to play. So it's like now that I kind of just, like, you know, just really just focused on myself and focused on what I wanted to do, you know, now I'm thinking more positive, but it's just that's physically, you know, like, but when it comes to mentality, it's totally different thing, you know, because you're pretty much putting a fat guy in a small body. Okay. So what do you do with it? Like, you know.
So what do you do with it? Tell us about what you do with this new guy.
I try and keep active now. I try and, like, you know, I try and run. I try and just, you know, do whatever. I try and do all the things I thought I couldn't do when I was bigger.
Mark-Claire, I read a little bit about an incident that happened in 7th grade that just really hit me pretty deep, and I wanted to see if you'd share that with us.
You know, when they have those fire alarm drills, you know, they go into like the field and they line you up in the line. Well, I remember in 7th grade, we did that, and I see this big group of people, you know, like I usually don't join in on crowds like that because I was usually the guy that kind of sits in the back, you know. Unless you were laughing at me, I wasn't really, you know, engaged in the conversation. And I saw this big group of people, and I'm looking at them, and, you know, I'm like, oh, what's going on there? And these 2 girls come and approach me, and it was the first time I got approached by, you know, girls. So I'm like, oh, kind of getting myself all ready, you know, and I did, you know, like that, you know, just getting myself all ready. And they pull me to the group, and all I see, you know, is this open center, and they push me in. They're just yelling negative comments at me, just one after one after one after one, and I couldn't escape. You know, there's 20 people, so I mean, you know, it's I'm sorry, I don't think about this a lot.
Mark-Claire, I want to jump back in because I think this might be a common pattern for you. I think you're up here telling us what you think about your situation and your condition, and I think that's probably helped you survive up until now. And so I think it's necessary. There's this positive mentality, and we're going to use that at some point. What I'm curious about is how you feel about it. I think there's some serious pain that you experienced growing up and being in this, and if we can't connect to that pain, we may not be able to find the doorway back out of it.
So we want you to take a breath, because I see it right there underneath, and you keep going, nope, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be positive. But see, there's a difference between fake it till you make it. We get that. We get that. But I don't want you to fake it for us today. I want you to get real. I want you to show up for us so that we can help you with what you need.
And Mark-Claire, I don't want you to feel all alone. So I want you to look at the 3 of us first to start, and then I want you to look out here in the audience. How many people here have experienced something that has just shook their self-confidence to the core?
2 hands.
I got 2. Hello.
So we're all here with you.
So let's just get real. How's this thing impacting you, and how are we going to get you out of it? How are you going to get you out of it?
Gosh. Whew.
When you voice it out loud, does it take you back to that place or something when you hear yourself say it? Because that's what I mean, if it's okay, that's what I'm getting from you. I think it's awesome that you think positive. But my opinion is when you say it out loud, it makes it a reality and it takes you back, which is normal. You know what I'm saying? But I tell my daughter all the time, when you was up there exercising, were those people there with you? When you're sick, were they helping you? Did they help you eat, pay your rent? No. They really have no meaning or no substance in your life. You know what I'm saying? And I just think, I commend you for what you've done so far. You look good. You should be proud of yourself. But I think you should answer what they're asking. You still lost for words. Like, I mean, saying it out loud makes you face it. You know what I'm saying? And that helps you deal with things.
Now, what's the question that plagues you when you're alone with your deepest, darkest thoughts? What's the question?
Why do I still torture myself? I went through a lot of different things. I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is about getting real.
Marclaire, you've already really done something pretty substantial because you gave us the door into your soul. And here's where I think we're stuck. I think there's this part of you that when put on the spot, when having to answer a difficult question, it takes you right back, as T-Boz says, right back to that moment. And the guy that walked out there that had this beautiful voice and this spirit goes back to 6 years old. And I see your voice disappear, and I see you lock up. You just really not know how to respond. And I want you to hear from me that what happened to you is not okay. And there's this thing that happens in emotional trauma. You experienced it, and it has an imprint in our brain, and sometimes we have to rewire our brain. You've done that on the physical side, and we're getting ready to help you do that on the emotional side.
You've been holding it together this long, and I get it, because you're standing at the doorway, you want to open it, you want to say the words, but you're so afraid of what comes after that, because you've spent so much time trying to be in control and trying to hold it all together. And I know you're afraid of what comes after you say the words. But we're here, okay? We're not going to let you go. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I feel like I went through all that. That it's not good enough.
Welcome back. Now, Marclaire, I have to ask you a tough question. I'm curious as to whether or not your mom really understands what's going on with your struggles.
I think she understands what I tell her. Like, I mean, we're a lot closer now that I've kind of been somewhat more open up to her, but there's just a lot of things I just kept from my mom, you know, from everyone, you know, at that time. So she's just now really getting into how I was feeling about it, you know.
What did you really keep from her growing up? What were the things that you wish that you could have gotten help with and said, Mom, this is what's really going on in my world?
I just felt like a certain darkness, you know, like I had to be in my room all the time, you know, and I avoided my mom, you know, and I avoided like people. I just felt like I had to do everything on my own, you know, like, you know, like you don't have to, you don't disappoint anyone and this and that. You can't, you know, sometimes you can't disappoint yourself. So, I mean, that's just, I felt like I couldn't really trust anyone, you know, not even my own mom at the time.
What's stopping you from getting out there and showing everybody who you are?
I mean, at least for this past year, like, you know, I've been trying to go out a little bit more, you know, and go out to, you know, different things. You know, I just like, see with me, I'm a very expressive person. Like I will tell you how I'm feeling about something, like, and I'm very, very open. And I think that just takes people back a little bit, especially when I talk to girls. I have a lot of girls that are friends.
I want to talk about a girl that you would be interested in. Like, how do you approach a girl to say, hey, I'd like to go out on a date with you?
I don't.
It's hard to find a good girl though these days. I'm just being honest. It's hard on the boulevard, honey.
That's gonna be a
Because
whole
I'm in
nother
this
show,
business
huh?
and I see them. They was out last night. It was terrible.
Here's the thing. I think we could certainly drop in this dating advice that you could probably get online. It's not really about that. It's about you.
Exactly.
And I think the more you become a better you and dig in and find that voice, I think you're going to become, you're already an attractive, I mean, look at this. I mean, just you radiate in a way that you draw people in. We just got to get those two connected.
Do you
the
believe
physical,
he's just looking like, he just gave you a major compliment.
He doesn't know. He doesn't
Yeah,
feel
you
it.
don't know that pretty chocolate, smooth skin. Honey, please, somebody will like you. I'm just saying.
We might need to talk about this after the show.
He is a baby. I am 44.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing we need you to know is that true confidence is not an overnight acquisition. It takes a lot of dedication and time for you to realize that you are a human being worth love and respect. I want you to hear that. That's really important because you've figured that out on the physical side and you have dedicated your life to improving. And we've got to put the same effort in on the emotional side.
That's right, and we have somebody to help you here today. In our audience today is life coach and fitness expert Drew Canole. Hi, Drew.
Hello there. Marclaire, my man. We spoke in the back, dude. It's so good to be here with you. And I can't help but really feel where you are. And listening to the three experts here, I almost felt like I was sitting in the chair with you. You know, you mentioned being tortured. As a kid, I was tortured, physically neglected, abused, and that's painful, right? But all of us torture each other in some way or another. And we have these addictions to food, drugs, different things like that. And the way to break that is through our thoughts, through our emotions, what you guys talked about. You're an amazing human being. You're here for a distinct purpose. You have this amazing identity, we call it, and that's a combination of your why you're here, what you want to do in this world, and your identity. You merge those two together, and you go off with that. You wake up every single day with a strong identity, and women will be running to you. I don't care where you are.
That's perfect.
You attract what you are.
That is awesome.
Right?
Thank you.
So, all right. I got you, my man.
So now, with that being said, I want to say that Drew has agreed to give you a hand on your journey, and we're going to be checking up with you along the way.
Mark, what are you feeling right now?
I have this kind of good, sad kind of feel. You know, it's like, because when I lost the weight, you know, you had that kind of mentality. It's like, oh, once I lose weight, everything's going to be better, you know, because like you see movies and TV, everyone loses weight, they're fine, you know, and as soon as I lost it, you know, it's like, it kind of sucks that I went through all that, you know, the running and the working out every night, you know, and I still like don't feel, you know, like hot, I guess,
Right,
you know, like,
right.
and it sucks.
Fill us in, because what we see and what you feel is two different things. So tell us the real story that's happening behind all of this.
I feel like I went through all that, and I still feel that, you know, that, like, you know, a feeling towards myself.
What feeling?
That it's not good enough, you know?
Not good enough for?
For myself or anyone.
I feel like you just arrived. Feels like we finally connected to what's really going on. And there is a way out of that. You need to know that. We got to get some people around you who can identify and can relate to your mess and your story and can love you through it. You got to let somebody into this process with you. Part of what we're going to do with Drew is just that. This is not just about you getting fit. It's about you getting loved on so that you can get those two connected.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. But I promise you that it will get better. You just have to be willing to show up. And every time you take that moment where you feel like, I can't take that next step, I can't pull that layer off, you have to be strong enough. You have to tell yourself that it's okay. You have to stop torturing yourself. But if you want something different, you have to do something different.
You can always change your outside, but it starts within. And that's the part to me that was always missing. And I think being here today is that start. You have to work from the inside out. I think what you're doing is awesome.
So I kind of just went opposite, right? I guess I kind of went outside in a little bit.
I hope we helped you at least to take the first step. I know you're in good hands with Drew. And we're going to check back up on you, okay? We've got high expectations for you. Stick around. Coming up, the hoe was breastfeeding her baby through a graduation gown at her graduation.
22 years in this business, I've never encountered that.
Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. Now, our next guest got caught in a storm of controversy after she posted a photo of herself breastfeeding her baby at her college graduation. What she thought would be the proudest day of her life turned into a media scandal. So thanks so much for joining us, Carlisha.
Hi.
How are you
I'm
today?
Good, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what happened to you.
At my college graduation, I decided to go get my daughter out of the audience. So as I got her, you know, we were sitting there, whatever, and she got hungry. And you know, as a mother, you feed your children when they're hungry. I didn't think anything of it. I started to feed her. A classmate of mine was like, oh, can I take a picture? You know, it's a special moment. I'm like, sure. They take the picture. I have the picture in my phone for about 2.5 weeks. I see on Facebook there's a breastfeeding page, and there's a woman on there getting a lot of backlash for breastfeeding her child in public.
Wow.
And so I just posted the picture on there to show support. I posted as a comment to her photo. That's the only place I've ever posted that picture. And next thing I know, I wake up in the morning, my phone is ringing off the hook. I got 100 messages on Facebook. I'm like, what is going on? And you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're this, you're everywhere. And I'm just in total shock. Like, I don't know how this happened.
Yeah. Well, as a mother of 4 that I've breastfed, I have 5 children, but as a mother of 4 that I've breastfed, this was near and dear to my heart. But I'm wondering, for you, has all of this been about the breastfeeding, or has it been about something else?
Well, it's been about, I mean, I don't know what people's problem is. You know, a lot of times it's about the fact that I was breastfeeding at my college graduation.
So your baby should have starved until you got home.
No. According to some people, I should have left her at home. I shouldn't even brought her to my graduation.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, people say there's a time and a place. Yeah, the time when your child's hungry, the place wherever you're at. That's how I see it.
I don't, you know.
So I want you to tell everybody, because I know you came here with a specific question, right? Oh, did you have something to say?
I don't have breasts.
Yeah, you're all in this conversation, Mom.
He's just smiling politely.
No, but I want to make sure that you get your question answered. So I know that you came here with a specific question, and I don't want you to leave without getting the answer. So I know that we don't have a lot of time either. So tell me, what was the question that you had?
I just wanted to know, how do I get past all the backlash that I got from, you know, my picture going viral, basically, because you know, I'm a very private person. Right. For the first month of my daughter's life, I had a ban on her photo. Nobody in my family, nobody could post her picture anywhere, because those are moments that were special to me that I wanted to cherish without, you know, the world. So I just, now that I'm everywhere, I don't know how to handle that.
Right.
Being the person that I am.
Right. Well, I want to share with some folks at home. When she asks, what about the backlash? I want you to understand exactly what the backlash is. So I've asked you to bring some of those tweets to be able to share with us. And do you mind if I read them?
Go ahead.
Because some of them they're pretty harsh. The hoe was breastfeeding her baby through a graduation gown at her graduation. And then this one. What would make you want to breastfeed your baby at your graduation, bruh? Like, damn, I hope that fails at life seriously. How does that make you feel when you hear that?
It's hurtful to think that people don't realize what I was doing was a positive thing.
Right.
And a lot of people thought, you know, I was graduated from high school, and they had a lot of misconceptions about, you know, what was actually going on. And it's hurtful to think that people, you know, see me and think something of me that I'm not. But at the end of the day, I'm here living my life. They're wherever they are living their life. You know, they don't pay my bills, so I'm not really worried about them.
Well, amen, amen. Well, you know, Carlisha isn't the only one causing a stir in social media. I mean, T-Boz, let's be real. You recently came under fire on Twitter yourself, with people going so far as to make death threats against you.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened. She said, yeah.
This particular artist, she actually subtweeted our picture or something. So I was like, wow. Even the artist is doing it.
Right.
And especially being in this business, especially for us artists, you should know how this works.
Well, you talk about the business, so I'm going to tell the business.
Okay.
The other artist was Rihanna, right?
Yeah.
And the tweets and the backlash. Can we take a look at some of the?
Go ahead.
I want you guys to see this, okay? So the
because
first
I
one.
lose no sleep.
Look
Trust
at this.
that.
Look at this. The first tweet. You need to get AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah, they told my daughter to shoot herself.
The second one. Die, you fat, irrelevant flop bitch. The third one. Be more concerned about your disease rather than someone else's fashion style.
Wow.
You're lucky to still be alive, you sickle cell bitch.
Wow, really?
Does that get to you when you hear that?
What bothers me is not that, because cyber bullies can catch a brick, a whole ton of them. But because I lose no sleep over that, and I dare somebody to come to my face and say something. You know what I'm saying? To 22 years in this business, I've never encountered that, because I think they're cowards. And you said living their lives. That's the problem. They're not living their lives. They're too busy worrying about everybody else's, because they're probably miserable, because misery loves company. So my thing is, it's really sad, because y'all really believe anything you hear. And the crazy thing is, I'm in Australia touring. I don't look on the internet. And when is it bad to tell a young girl a positive message? What I said was, there's a lot of girls, we were talking about TV, movies, and singing. The lady said, did you see what she wore? I said, no, because I'm touring. I'm on stage every night selling out, booths, selling out, okay? Right. That's what I worry about, them ticket sales, okay? Get my money.
Here's the real issue. I don't want you to take this lightly. I hear you that I think you came on here for a reason, and you asked us a question. How do I move beyond it? So my guess is there's been some pain alongside of some of these posts that you're reading.
Well, you know, people have said a lot of negative things about my daughter, and I feel like she's very innocent in this, and that upsets me, and that's what hurt me the most, is the fact that she's being exploited, and they're saying all type of things about her when she's 4 months old. She had nothing to do with, you know, anything.
And this is what I want you to take away from that then, because you asked the question, how do you move past this? And what I would say to you is one foot in front of the other. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You brought that child into this world and you kept going to school and you're doing everything the way that you're supposed to do it. Your child is 4 months old. That has nothing to do with her. She won't even remember this. But I want you to take away this consequence because you're a young lady now. And if you don't learn anything else from this, I want you to understand that the choices that you make today, no matter how private you think that they might be, no matter how sure you are that it won't get out, once you put something out into the universe, you have no control about what happens from there. So I want you to take that away, and the very next time someone puts a camera, puts a microphone, puts an eye on you at all, think twice about the photos that you take, because what you do today for the good may come back to haunt you for the bad tomorrow.
And the thing I'll add is that this is going to go away over time. And if you want to know how do you overcome it, you stop reading them.
That's right.
That's the immediate. You know, a good friend of mine has a great quote about this, Brene Brown. It says, "Don't try to win over the haters. You are not a jackass whisperer."
Woo! Wow! Come on. Felicia, we thank you so much for being here. We wish you the absolute best, okay? Coming up, we have a couple with some major trust issues. I want you to stay with us. We'll be back. Coming up.
When you take a man back after cheating, you can't keep bringing up the past because either you shouldn't have went back or you got to let it go.
I've cheated on you 2 or 3 times.
If you walk out of here today and you've lied to her, it will be over. Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. With us today is our special guest, T-Boz, and joining us now are Damien and Shante. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to jump right in, okay? I want to know exactly what is going on with the two of you guys. Look at her face, it says it all. She's like, do you want to begin or should I?
Go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead.
Well, I'm on the show today because I have trust issues with Damien because he has not always been honest or faithful.
Okay.
So I would like to know how can I get that 100% trust back in him.
When you say he hasn't always been honest and faithful, and believe me, your face is telling so much more than your words. Tell me exactly now, how long have you two been together? Put the picture
4
together
years.
for us.
4 years.
We met at our
Okay.
old job, which was Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And yeah, I stole her from her dude and...
So wait, you want to know if he's
No,
being
we're
faithful,
not
but
even.
you were cheated with him?
Oh, no. No, it was a relationship that was already ending.
Okay, so it was on its way out.
Oh,
you
yeah.
two got together. Oh, so you were both in a relationship?
Well, I didn't know that he was in a relationship until
She didn't
after.
find out until later, till the girl started banging on the door and...
And why
all
was that?
I don't know, I should have just been honest and told her that I wasn't happy, but instead I was trying to play two at the same time.
So you were cheating. You were cheating on your
Yep.
other mate with her, and then once you were aware of that, you still continued to date him.
To be honest.
No, well, I think he broke it off with her.
You think?
Well,
That was after the fact.
yeah, but I didn't know until like a while after we were together.
I want to jump in here because if I'm not, there's a 4-month-old child here, right?
3.
3 months.
3-month-old child here, and so it feels like this is a big joke to you guys. And
No,
I'm
it's
not,
not.
I'm not as worried about you right now as I am about that kid. So this is serious. If you're a cheater, that's the bottom line. That's what
Right.
I'm hearing. It's a
But
pattern.
then so
it's
is
been
she.
going.
But
because if they'll cheat with you, they'll cheat on you. And once you knew that he was cheating, you still said, okay, it's a couple of months into it, I'll just keep him. And so now you guys have all these trust issues that are swirling around,
Yeah.
but you started with mistrust. So it's not that you're trying to figure out how to get it back, it's you got to figure out, can you even have it in this situation?
Yeah.
I just don't want you wasting your time or our time.
Right.
If you're here, I mean, we can joke about this all day.
No. I'm really here because I'm trying to be a better person.
That's not what I see. What I see is when she talks about something that could be very painful, I see you mocking and making fun of her. And I just want to set up some ground rules. That's not what we're here for, and we're not going
Right.
to allow you to do that.
Right.
You might be able to, you're probably letting him walk over in your other areas of life. We're going to try to teach you and empower you today that that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Is that
But I
fair?
want you to get real too. See, I believe in holding my ladies just as accountable. And so I want you guys to be really serious about this, because it didn't start off on the right foot. But for the sake of your child and for the sake of both of you, we want to make sure that it ends that way as you go forward. So what is it that you really want out of today? Look at him and tell him what you want out of today.
I want you to be 100% faithful and to just man up and do what you have to do to provide for me and our son and Skylar.
Right.
And Damien, look at her and tell her what you want out of today.
I want you to trust me, believe in me. I have my ups and downs, so I'm not perfect. And that's just me being selfish. So I apologize for that. But I know that we've been through a lot. We've been together for almost 5 years. So I want to let you know that I want us to work together as a team. We have a son, and I love my kids, and I love you. And I want to show you that I can be a better man.
T-Boz, what do you think about what's going on so far?
Actions speak louder than words, you know what I'm saying? And what I've learned from men, like, are you really showing her what she needs to, you know, are you showing her what she needs to trust you? And you as a woman, when you take a man back after cheating, you can't keep bringing up the past, because either you shouldn't have went back or you got to let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So me as a chick, I don't deal with cheating. I wouldn't have took you back. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? Because there are situations, and I don't judge nobody, I'm just speaking on myself. There are some people who take people back and, you know, they don't change, but there are some people who should change. Because
So
you can
that's
say a
nice.
lot of stuff.
Have you changed?
I mean, yes, you have temptations. You know, as a man, you know, it's no excuse. I'm not going to say that, but I mean, yes, as men, you do look, and I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I'm just going to speak on for myself, because that's why I'm here. So, and I'm looking you guys in the eye. I'm not perfect. I got a lot of flaws.
I'm still trying to figure out why you're here, because it sounds like you just got it pretty much figured out. I'm trying to figure out why you need us.
Well, I mean, still, just I'm trying to tell her that. Sometimes she says that she understands that I'm trying to get better, but sometimes she doesn't. So I'd rather like a woman tell her that, you know.
Well, you know what, hold that thought, because we're going to get a little bit deeper into this, okay? Up next, we'll take a look at some of the text messages that Damien has sent to other women. Now, he says they're harmless, but are they really? We'll talk more about it when we come back. Welcome back. We're here with singer T-Boz and a couple who are trying to move past infidelity. Now, Shante admits that she's having a hard time completely trusting Damien. And Damien has sent some questionable text messages to some women that he calls friends. Shante has asked us to take a look at those messages and to give her our professional opinion as to what's really going on. So let's take a look at some of these messages.
Hey, sexy, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Send me some pictures of you.
Here you go, sexy. Does this really need our professional opinion?
No.
What's happening for you right now?
I don't like those texts.
What were the pictures?
Just regular pictures.
What were the pictures? See, and remember, before you answer, we've agreed to be completely 100%
Just regular,
honest.
just regular pictures of the girl dressed up in just regular little dress. I mean, whatever little picture she had. So it could be like jeans and a shirt.
Who is she?
Just a girl that I met.
A friend. What kind of friend is
A
that?
friend. Just a girl that I met when I was out.
A friend, I've always said when it comes to couples, if they're not a mutual friend of your relationship, then they are no friend at all.
Right.
Hello.
And if she doesn't know who that woman is, and it's somebody that you just happen to meet when you're out, that is no friend at all. Why should she trust you?
Because I got myself together, and that's the past. I'm going towards the future now.
Shante,
I realize
do you
what I
believe when
have.
it says that?
Not 100%. No. I feel like when he goes out, I mean, I can't worry about, I'm not at home like worrying if he talking to someone or meeting someone, but I just feel like if he's, I mean, if the personality that he has, he's very social and he likes to talk a lot and meet a lot of people. So I can't imagine him going out with his friends or being somewhere and just like not talking to anyone. Or, you know, and that's how things start. You know, you start talking to them and he may not even ask for someone's number. She may say, oh, hey, let me give you my number. Let's stay in contact, whichever way it goes.
This is my problem with you. is that you are letting him off the hook in all of your words, all of your language. You're making it okay. It's all about the girls. It's everything else. You are in a relationship with this man right here. What he does to you that is not okay, he needs to hear from you that's not okay. You need to stop using words like, oh, if he has a friend, if he is setting up to cheat on me, that is not okay. I deserve better. Our children deserve better. You get your act together or we are gone. Period. T-Boz, what do you think about this?
First of all, that's not a friend. Like she said, that's not a friend. That's how you start to get with somebody. You said girlfriend, that's not what I said. I said somebody you trying to get with. I feel like you are making excuses for him. You know what I'm saying? That's not a friend. That's a heifer he's trying to get with. That's not okay.
She said it nicely.
Yeah, I'm on TV, so I would have used some other words.
Here's what I see. I see you getting lost in the shuffle. This segment, you know, a lot of what we spent was time talking about Damien, because he's got a big personality. You come in here and you kind of fill up a room. But what I see is not somebody that's strong and confident. I see somebody that's really insecure. And I see you trying to get your needs met everywhere else so you can get seen, heard, and valued. And you come out here and you laugh and you smile and you joke about it, but there's a big disconnect from you, and I see right into it. And I know that pattern started somewhere. You saw that somewhere. Where'd this start?
Long time ago. I mean, you know, I've never been a person to be perfect. In past relationships, I haven't been happy. So I've cheated.
So
and I've opened up and I told her that.
Real hard question. Honestly, have you told her how many times you've cheated?
Of course.
How many times has he told you that he's cheated?
Like 3 or 4.
Look her in her eyes and tell her how many times you've cheated on her.
I've cheated on you about 2 times, 2 or 3 times.
Is that the real number?
That's the real number.
So how is it that you
And that's
said,
within the 4 years.
how is it that you said a lower number than what she said?
That's just a rough number.
Damien.
I can't.
Damien.
How can you not remember?
Because we've been together for 4 years.
Damien, if you cannot remember the number of women that you have slept with in the last 4 years, then that number is way more than 2 or 3.
No.
Now, this is what I hate for you. If you walk out of here today and you've lied to her, it will be over. You will have shattered any chance that you have of making this work.
I think we're kind of getting caught up in the same thing that you guys get caught up in. You spin around in circles and talk about all the details, and it's way up here, and I can see the audience shaking their head too. We're all just kind of frustrated, like, do you really want to make this happen? And I wouldn't be so invested in either of you if I didn't know that this 3-month-old was at stake. And that makes me very invested in both of you. You did show up here for a reason, and you asked us a hard question. And I think you're asking the wrong question, because yours is, how do you get me to trust me some more? And you got to show up to earn that trust back. Do you hear that? And there's 3 steps that you can do to do that. And I wanted to break them down really simple. The first one we've been trying to get you to do, it's coming clean. You don't have to do that right now, but at some point she deserves to know the truth.
Completely clean.
And the second part is you have to be open to her process. I don't blame her if she doesn't trust you. I don't blame her if every time you pick up your phone, she wonders who's texting you. You need to be open and give her some space and some grace. And the third part is you've got to renew and build some trust in this relationship. And that takes time and it takes consistency. What I think you guys need is some ongoing couples counseling. There's an incredible therapist that's licensed marriage and family therapist here in California. His name is Brian Rye. I know him, really well known, really great guy, and he knows his stuff. And he's agreed to see you guys. Would you be willing to see him?
Yes.
We're going to get you guys connected and see where you go from here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wish you
Appreciate it.
luck.
Thank you.
Well, we want to thank them both for sharing their stories today. And coming up next, Miles, T-Boz, and I will answer some of our viewer questions. Stick around.
We sent our cameras out to get your questions. Let's take a look at the first one.
So my friend has terrible manners. How do I go about telling her that she's kind of a brat?
Boy, T-Boz, I got to let you tackle this one.
Honesty is the best policy. Just tell her. I mean, she's being fake. and not a true friend if she doesn't. I would tell her.
So how would you say it? How would you say, girl, you're a brat? Or what would you say
I'll
to her?
probably sit her down. We can go eat or whatever. I mean, I think you deal with people based on their personality. Some people, I'm blunt regardless, but some people you have to little, you know.
Kick gloves,
Yeah,
kick gloves,
like
massage
a little
it.
softer edge. But I just deal with my friends based on their personality.
Yeah.
So depending, she knows her best. So but she should be honest, because if not, girl, you're being fake.
I got you. Okay, let's move to another one.
Hey Miles, my friend dresses inappropriately and I want to let her know without hurting her feelings. How can I do that?
You got an all from that?
She was like, oh, what's his number?
Wow. That is a tough one because you've got to, more than likely you're going to offend them. But this is one of those cases where it's not really what you ask, it's how you ask it. It's not what you deliver, it's in the delivery. So I do believe you have to say this, but I think you need to really think it out and do it in a really kind, loving, and gentle way, in the way that you would want to hear it yourself. Because you got to be really careful, because she may not know, or he or she may not know that they're dressing inappropriately and may take it really personal. Guess what? That's part of the risk of intimacy and vulnerability of being tight friends. Take the risk. It's worth it. Doing it in a kind way.
That's right. Show up. That one was interesting. Okay, let's look at another.
Hey, Miles. I avoid the doctor like a plague. I haven't had a physical in over 35 years. Knowing that 1 out of 2 people have issues at my age, why do I not go to the doctor to figure out what possibly could go wrong with me?
Wow.
35
years not going to the doctor.
Well, most men are scary, though.
Is it most men or people, period?
I've encountered, because I've been sick since I was born, a lot of men shy away from going to the doctor more than women that I found. And even in research, we're working with different, pharmaceutical companies.
Here's the thing. This is a real issue. And we need, it needs to be taken seriously, because there's a lot of people that don't take care of themselves because of the fear of what's going to happen at the doctor's office.
The answer they're going to hear.
So what I would suggest is don't call the doctor and ask for an appointment. Because if I were just to suggest it were that easy, you would have done it already. But let me tell you, a lot of doctors are prepared to deal with the anxiety you have around being there. And a lot of doctors' offices are. You'd be surprised at how many people deal with this issue. So what I'm going to tell you to do is call the doctor and tell them that you have this issue. And tell them you're not sure how to get there, you're not sure how to close the gap, you don't even know if you can make it to an appointment, you just want to be vulnerable and disclose, this is the challenge I have. What will happen is that doctors' offices will generally put together something that will make it easier for you to be there.
I like that. 35 years. Okay, so listen, if you have a question for us, then check out our website and learn how to submit your videos, okay? We want to hear from you. We'll be right back after this. You are what makes this show great, and we want to hear from you. Write us a message on the Daily Helpline Facebook page, tweet us at Daily Helpline, or visit us online at thedailyhelpline.com. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and I have to give a very special thank you to T-Boz. I felt like I was home with you. Wasn't she amazing today? You are awesome. Awesome. From all of us here, we want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you the next time right here on the Daily Helpline.